Welcome to the Beyond the Bridge show by Local Umbrella Media. We're here at the beautiful IQ podcast studio in Coronado, California. And my guest today is Christie Craig. And
Hello.
We are, as you can see, sporting Super Bowl jerseys from Rob Gronkowski. And why, you might ask, we're a local publication company, been in San Diego for about 5.5 years. And it's kind of a long story, but we're going to make it short, and I'm going to let Christie tell most of the story.
Boy.
But Christie joined our team as one of our most valuable players about 3 years ago to grow our business. And we've grown it quite a bit over the years. And we were always a print and direct mail company. And about a year or so ago, we decided to get more involved in the digital advertising space. And Christie and I formed a team, and we started doing great things with some clients and
our
doctors and some other clients, and it led us to a doctor in Atlanta. And Christie, maybe you can elaborate on how that led to the Super Bowl.
Sure. So Dr. Richard Ambrosic was referred to us not really as a digital client, but as a doctor who was looking to grow his practice. And I have a background in helping physicians and dentists grow their practice. And I have a background in print, publisher. I've been a publisher since the day I was born, almost, it seems like, since I was about 10, working for my father's publishing house. I have a lot of background in it. And so when Dr. Rick was sent our way during COVID, he was looking to really expand his practice. And we thought, wow, what a great idea to actually take everything that Dr. Rick is doing and package it and do a custom magazine rollout, which would, now this is before I knew who his patients were. I just saw and I analyzed his business. We had a whole consult, and I said, I think that we need to do a custom magazine. I know that a lot of people do books, but I thought in his particular situation that a custom magazine would be the right way to go. So after we signed an agreement and we went to work and rolled up our sleeves, one day I had a conversation with Dr. Rick, and he, of course, said, well, I have a couple patients. Well, who are they? Well, you can actually interview Rob Gronkowski. I'm like, Rob Gronkowski? What? You didn't tell me this. And then the next one was, well, Brian Klesko. Well, Brian Klesko, but wait, didn't he play for the Padres? He said, yeah, but then he took the Atlanta Braves to the World Series 3 times. I'm like, oh my gosh, who else have you got up your sleeve? So we learned that our doctor has been treating these professional athletes and has been helping them with regenerative medicine, in the areas of regenerative medicine, in helping heal their injuries. And so I got super excited with my own injuries, of course, and I went, whoa, I want to know more. And so we were in the production phase, and I said, I'm going to come down to Atlanta. Let me interview all of your patients, and I want actual other patients as well as pro athletes, just the regular patients like me. I want to talk to them. I want to find out what their experience was. And so that's how this project was born. And it's been incredible. It's been an incredible ride. I want Brad just to tell you a little bit about the cover, because this was sort of my baby and I wasn't going to let up on it. And
well, we publish about 30 monthly newspapers and other publications every month. So I'm used to, you get an idea, you get a writer, you write a story, you get the graphic you put together, and you make it to press to get it out on time, and you start on the next one. So this was a little bit new experience for me, because of one thing to another. It's like, when are we going to get this thing done? And Christie said, well, I got another interview. And when she told me who the interviews were with, I got a lot more patient.
This is our first co-publishing together. Exactly. And Brad's like, what is going on here? This is taking forever. I said, oh, it'll be worth it, promise.
And it was. So it was a whole new experience for us, and now we're in a whole new business, because there's some other companies out there doing custom publishing for medical practices and all other kinds of clients. And when you compare this piece and this process and what we have compared to some of the others, it's kind of at another level. So thank you for that.
True. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Brad. You're a great partner to publish with. It was one of those projects that seemed like for everyone else but me, it was never going to end, but I actually enjoyed every minute of it. The thing about this project that's so unique and amazing is that this particular process of regenerative medicine is a game changer. And when you see and speak to the patients who have already been in pain, they have lost their ability to get around. Even a lot of these pro athletes, they had given up on ever being in sports again. And when you see the outcomes, it's just so worth it. And what I love to do is work on projects with purpose. And COVID has been so hard on families. We've all lost, I've got my mother with COVID right now. We've all been through it. And there came a time it was about March, April when this came across our plate. I mentioned to my assistant at the time, I said, you know what? I know that everyone's having a tough time. A lot of us are losing our jobs. I actually had lost a couple of physician clients. And I said, you know what? Let's do something that's going to make a difference in the world. And so this is something that we really stuck with. And the irony is that I wasn't going to quit until I figured out a way to get Rob on the cover. I had no idea Rob Gronkowski was going to win the Super Bowl. I loved his story so much and how he made his comeback, and that Dr. Rick was really a big, huge part of his healing and in the processes that Dr. Rick used to help him come back. So anyway, that's a little bit about the project. Yeah. And we had an amazing, we were actually invited to the Gronkowski's private VIP events down in Tampa. And we were able to really spend some good, solid quality time with the family and really kind of get to know each other. And we had gone down to launch the magazine, and it turned out like when I left Tampa, I felt like I left family behind. It was really great.
Yeah, I'm sure not everyone, but most people know the Gronkowski story. Rob played for the Patriots for years and won 3 Super Bowls, and Tom Brady threw, I don't know how many touchdown passes, but record-breaking numbers. And because his body was so beat up at 29, he decided he couldn't take it anymore. And sort of that's when he found Dr. Rick, as I understand it, and started getting some treatments and using some modalities that Dr. Rick offered. And then, of course, Tom Brady got released by the Patriots, and they got together and they both came back, and the rest is history. This is a beautiful magazine we publish, and we like to think we're the lucky charm that kind of helped him to get there this year. And it was all worth it. It was a long process. It was all worth it. And the future, from the connections we've made through this whole process, is going to be a whole nother level, I think.
Well, there's some other great projects coming down the line in the areas of medicine. I like working with some of these physicians that are doing really new cutting edge things, like the new technologies that are out there that can actually help us heal, help us to, for example, like Daniel Amen is another one that has several New York Times bestsellers. He is doing some amazing things in the area of psychiatry and brain scans. I'm super excited. I'm going to see him on Saturday, I think next Saturday. So anyway, just a little bit more. I'm going to turn this over a little bit to Brad. I want to talk a little bit about the custom publishing side. We are really able to create almost any size magazine that you would need, from a 8-page to a 24-page piece. And I'm going to let him elaborate a little bit more.
About it. I mean, I've been in magazine publishing for 35 years, so magazine publishing kind of comes as second nature. But we were in the newspaper business, but we were out calling on some clients and ran across a dentist that had a little custom publishing job done. And I won't show you theirs because it's somewhat embarrassing, but we found out what they were paying for it, and they were thrilled with it. And we thought, geez, if they can do it at that price, look what we might be able to do. So, as a matter of fact, that's what we went to Dr. Rick and showed him that piece and said, we're going to do a little bit better than this. And it turned out to be a lot better. So, it's just a whole nother way for people to position themselves and brand themselves as experts and get the word out in ways they can't get out. And the trust factor and the respect and the positioning of yourself as a professional expert when you have your own publication is certainly something we enjoy doing, and going to plan on doing a lot more of it.
Well, what I love is I started working with Brad because not only that's helping him grow his publishing house, but Dr. Melinda Silva, who was the Fox 5 News correspondent here in San Diego for 6 years, she's a client of mine and one of my really close friends. And she was really looking for a print piece that she could actually use for direct mail. And so I brought one of my first print projects to Brad, which was to really promote Dr. Silva's new coal sculpting area of her practice. And so we did a whole rollout and a 4-page pull-out spread for Dr. Silva. And what I love about this is that it's direct mail, and anyone who says that direct mail or paper is dead, they're completely out of touch, because it's one of the best ways I have found to actually tell the story. It's hard to tell a story online. It's hard to tell a story on Google, on digital. But I have to tell you, when you have something like this that you can touch and feel, even with the newspaper, which I don't have Melinda's here, but even with the newspaper, when you have a front cover story and you go into detail about the practice, people pick them up because it has the name of the community on the headlines, and they want to know more. And so, as Brad always says, I love his line. He always says, well, they make it past the trash can. And they actually do. I have a lot of my physicians that'll tell me that they get calls all the time from their friends when they receive them in the mail.
Yeah,
so.
in direct mail, they call it the mailbox moment. We call it the trash can test. It's when you go to your mailbox, you get your mail, and a lot of the stuff goes directly in the trash can without even getting seen. So people in these communities love their communities, and they'll read something with the title of their community on, as long as there's some good information in there too. But print isn't dead. Print is dead in the news business. The news business, you get your news right away, Twitter, however, but information like this, it lasts, and things you read online are gone the next second when you slide over and read the next article. And so print has staying power. It has a trust factor. It has a unique positioning, because not everyone can afford to be in print, and not that many people are in it anymore. So we think print is, I say print is the new media.
Well, also too, it's the combination of all of the pieces working together. When I couldn't find the right digital agency to place my physicians, I said, well, I guess we're just going to have to create our own. If we can't find what we need, how about I'm calling Fallon? So, so I called Brad Fallon, one of my pro friends that has been in digital. He was one of the original SEO guys back in the early 2000s. And I said, you're coming out here. So we spent pretty much about 3 to 4 months in development, and we developed the C4 lead machine. And I feel like especially for the physicians and the dentists and the doctors, that when you have print and you have the story and then you have the digital side, it really is the combination of all of those that work together, along with some great press releases by Mark Paletti, by the way. He's amazing. And so all of these pieces work together. So we really kind of turn Local Umbrella into a bit of an agency.
Yeah, it's great. We're a nationwide agency now. So we're at another level. And thank you so much for all you did to get this thing launched. And what a great success it was. And congratulations to Rob and Dr. Rick for getting together and helping the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Totally. And by the way, I have Coach Harry, you better stay tuned for this one. I'm super excited to have him on the next show. It's the coach who actually coached all 5 Gronks in their basketball and baseball growing up.
Wow, that's a story.
And he is amazing. And so he's going to come on the show, and we're going to talk with him, and we're going to have some great Q&A. So here we are. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, any athletes out there that want to go to the Super Bowl or win a championship next year, it just may be a coincidence, but maybe not. Maybe you ought to call us up and get us on the cover. It'll be a good look charm.
So funny.
Anyway, that's our show. We'd love to thank our sponsors, as we always do. Attorney King, Sequan Casino and Resort, Indian Motorcycle of San Diego, The Gym, Serrano's Coronado, and IB Fitness. Thanks for watching. So long.